both cheering at OSU, and that's really how I saw her for the first time and got, started developing my crush in the first place. She'd be coming off the mat, I'm like, good job. But I'm sure she didn't even notice that, so.
I noticed.
Fell asleep on islands and I wake. I fell asleep on islands. I'm irate.
I had a crush on Mike from early on, and I had kind of made comments to friends here and there about it, people that I was cheering with. I talked to also my coaches, Coach Leroy.
So it's really up to Leroy McCullough, that really set us all up, because I remember him coming up to me and saying something like, hey man, Stout's got a crush on you. And I was like, what? Are you serious? So I walked over to her and I was just nervous, but I did it. Got her phone number. I texted her like that night, make sure she didn't fake number me. But then after that night, rather than using the number now that I had it, I didn't use it at all. I was just scared, so I didn't use it. And
it was an entire year almost before we actually started talking and then dating.
Never hung out, not with friends, not with anyone. Like, we never actually hung out together, really.
On our first date, he came over to my house and picked a movie. What was the name of it?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Not my type of movie. Oh my goodness. And he wanted to see awkward pictures of me, or just pictures of me growing up, what I had.
The whole picture thing, I don't really know where that came from. I don't know if that was my way of flirting. I don't really know what was on my mind. I think it just, I already had one strike. I chose a bad movie. I don't even know how I brought it up. I was just like, do you have any baby pictures? It's like, I'm not sure who thinks of that on a first date. I was so nervous. You don't even understand.
We were so awkward, both of us.
Both of us were. We didn't even get like a baby step. It's like we skipped the first 2 steps of friendship. I felt so much pressure. I was like, this is like my moment. If I don't do this right, looks like there goes my shot of ever dating Lyndsey Stout.
Within a few months, I knew he was the one, very early on.
I'm sure many people at the wedding can attest to me saying those statements. Like, I may sound crazy, but I was like, I found the one. I was like, I really found the one. It's like, really? I was like, yeah, no, I'm serious. I know we've only been dating for a week, but I knew very early on that she was all that and more, so.
We love to play games and watch movies and just be lazy, really. Board games, card games, all games.
She's super competitive. I thought I was competitive, but she's more competitive than I am.
It's no fun to lose.
10 times worse. Definitely not just a casual game that we play.
It's serious.
It's to see who wins.
Mm-hmm. Always keep score.
Yeah, we keep score.
It's competitive. Sparkle! 200. It was the day after Christmas.
It was the day after Christmas.
And he was supposed to be coming home. He'd been gone in Boise for a whole week.
I texted her saying that I chose to volunteer my seat for a couple flight vouchers, and she was not a happy camper.
I was mad.
And so, obviously, I didn't actually do that. So her mom picked me up from the airport, went to her apartment and got all ready and made the apartment all ready, and we had been talking to Miranda, Lyndsey's sister.
I thought we were going back shopping. Miranda faked a stomach ache. We go to my apartment and I'm carrying a bunch of bags, I think, and I look a mess. And I walk through the door and he's standing there looking so handsome. There's candles lit everywhere, rose petals all over the floor, and I'm like, freeze, completely freeze. The door swings back and hits me in the face. So I walk in, I awkwardly put all my things down and I walk to you.
She was just like, what's
like
going
shaking.
on? She was like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? It was, what are you doing, right? She just kept on saying, what are you doing? And I was just standing there so nervous, like shaking, and like I didn't really know what to do. And yeah, I mean, in my head, I had it all worked out. I really did. In my head, I had this like movie script in my head, like romantic movie worthy. all these things I was gonna say did not come out that way. Did not come out at all. I started crying a little bit, and
It was perfect.
but it was not
It really
movie
was.
worthy in my head. but I said sweet things, so I just.
Do we
spoke-
ever do anything movie worthy?
So I just spoke from my heart and asked for her hand, and she said yes.
It's hard to pick one favorite thing about Mike, but I think that my absolute favorite thing is probably how wonderful of a heart he has. He's just so caring and compassionate. I hope I don't start crying. Can we start over so I don't cry? You go first.
It's hard to pinpoint just one thing about Lyndsey I love.
You're stealing my line.
I'm sorry. Initially, I fell for her looks, because I thought she was absolutely gorgeous. But I fell in love with everything else. And so it was she just had a great heart, very giving, just a very selfless person, and she just thinks a lot about others too.
You're so emotional. I think we bring out the best in each other.
I couldn't agree more. She's my angel, literally.
I love you.
I love you.